Rant about the Gunblade. Ghostmaker 15 here, and I am here to bring some information that I've collected through the years about a weapon which has dogged a lot of forums and a lot of fanboys. The weapon is of course the Gunblade from Final Fantasy VIII. At first I enjoyed the series, but looking back on it I realized what a letdown Final Fantasy VIII was. I'm here to talk to you about the Gunblade, because many realists, or just non-fanboys, people that take distance between, make sure there's distance between themselves and Final Fantasy VIII, they hate the Gunblade and everything it stands for, where the fanboys just love the weapon. And I'm somewhere in the middle, as always. Getting down to business. The Gunblade is not as far-fetched as it may seem, and to many of the realists we are talking about a weapon that has strong roots in the culture of the world, because with a sword it's more durable, you can block some sort of magic with it. At least, I mean, just think about it, you can't do that with a rifle or a musket. It would break. Therefore, I believe because of magic in the world that it inhabits, the Gunblade came into its own as a weapon of choice. We've had Gunblades, believe it or not. It's called a musket with the bayonet. That's simple. We've had them since Napoleonic Wars. What it's about is simply that you have a gun. We wanted industry, we wanted firepower, we wanted it effective now, now, now. Therefore we created the musket. We realized then that the musketeers would need close support. First of this was done by bodyguard squads, pikemen mostly, to protect against cavalry. But in the end they introduced the bayonet. Now the bayonet married these two concepts of ranged combat and close combat, and the battlefield would never be the same again. That simple. And it's pretty much stayed with us up until this point. Combat is getting closer and closer every day, so to speak. We went from long rifles to we went from muskets to single action long rifles, then to lighter submachine guns or heavy machine guns, then to the assault rifle, which is a mix of the two. You got the close combat abilities of the submachine gun, but you've also got the ability to take out your enemy at longer ranges. What the Gunblade does is, as it's in a world of fiction and fantasy, it reverses it. You have a weapon that is built for close combat. You have a big sword to protect yourself. And then later technological achievements allow you to fire bullets from the Gunblade. They just went the other way, basically. I don't think it's that far-fetched, and I really believe that okay, we are a lot of choices away from having the Gunblade pop up in Europe all of a sudden, but basically it's not that far-fetched as many people seem. Many people see it necessary to butchering the language here. Anyways, moving on. The problem is, of course, that the designers of Final Fantasy VIII shoot themselves in the foot regarding the Gunblade, because the weapon that they produce is not really a gunblade. It's a blade vibro chamber thingy. I really can't class this weapon. Upon doing my research, I've deduced that the cartridge, that is the explosive ingredient that makes weapons go boom, is chambered in the gun and then fired when the blade has struck its target to cause a vibration sending through the target, causing more damage. It doesn't really work that way. It just doesn't. Firstly of all, the weapon itself is ludicrously dangerous. It would be so dangerous to use because the sheer mechanics it was based on would be flawed. None of the gun blades in Final Fantasy VIII have barrels, and they have no ventilation system for the gases to explode. When you detonate something, they go from liquid or solid form to gas form, and what you get then is an expansion. The explosion that you often see is simply the gas trying to escape the barrel. That's where the muscle flash comes from. It's the gas detonating the air around it. The Gunblade doesn't have any ventilation or any barrel. There's no bullet. There's just a gas explosion. This leaves it with the fundamental flaw that when the gases can't get out, they will move to the place where they will move to the weakest point. And if you don't have a barrel, you're gonna have to go back through the hammer. That's the part which strikes the cartridge and explodes it, and that the hammer is usually placed, well, just a few inches from your face. Do I have to go on? This is simply what I've deduced from my findings of the Gunblade and my research. I love the basic principle of it. It is such a weapon that is culturally so different from our own. And it is some of the concept I really could... I mean, like I said, we're not gonna have them popping up in Europe, but I don't really think we should dismiss them just as quick as some people are. I mean, we won't see them in the military anytime soon. We have bayonets. Those things work fine. You can still gut a guy. And, yeah. Well, anyways, I've offended both the fanboys and the realists, so I guess it's time for me to sign off.